Yeah, what's up, everybody? This is Marwan Enigma, whatever, and I'm doing this new series called Conquering Life. Conquering Life. In order to conquer life, you got to understand what life is, the meaning of life, and this is the $1 million question, the question that nobody seems to be able to answer or comprehend. Like, why do we exist, and what are we, and where do we come from? So I'm gonna actually try to establish this principle before I get into the idea of conquering life. In my perspective, life is an experience. The purpose of life is to experience all things at all times simultaneously. I think human beings are broadcast to these entities called uh, bodies, and we actually dwell in these frequencies like FM, AM, ultraviolet, X-ray. We actually are connected to these frequencies just like a cell phone. We have a unique IP address to these unique bodies that we actually transpire after we actually go to sleep and wake up. Hit them frequencies. But the idea is to broadcast these experiences to the true dimension, the heavenly dimension, where the Most High dwells and where our eternal soul dwells. So the purpose of life is to experience. Also, the purpose of life is to conquer the earth, conquer life, conquer the flesh, conquer all things down here. And the way to do it, just like the ancient Egyptian philosophy, they say the only way to ascend to the higher dimension is to have a heart as light as a feather, meaning that you deny yourself the experiences, which is amazing because the previous generation laid down the groundwork. They gave all the philosophy, all the knowledge of the experiences, so you don't necessarily have to actually delve into those experiences yourself. If you actually study the previous generations, the previous scholars, the previous situations, you can know that it's not good to be a crackhead. You can know it's not good to be a pimp, a prostitute, a dope dealer, just by observation and study. But what happens in modern society is each generation is left ignorant of the previous experiences, the previous accomplishments. And we study a guy, America, really the whole world. Most religions talk about this guy named Jesus who actually conquered the flesh, who didn't delve into the sins, who didn't really delve into the experiences, but he had knowledge of all the experiences because the scriptures, the Bible, the Quran, it teaches you about the falls and the follies of the fools. But the purpose of life is to conquer life and to experience, but at the same time, to experience non experience, to not do it, to observe it, but not do it. They say you could explore a philosophy without embracing a philosophy, if that make any sense. So, conquering life, one of the biggest obstacles to life is emotions, reactions, emotional attachments, manipulation of your emotions based on what you perceive to be occurring. Like I read this book called The Art of War. It said always attack what your enemy have to defend to divert their attention. So if you want them to move in a certain direction, you go attack this right here that they gotta defend it. And once you attack that, you manipulated their movement. Now you can go and get that opening and blitz them that way. You see what I'm saying? But people do the same thing with your emotions. They want you to they want you to react this way, just to corner you, just to defeat you, just to get you to hang yourself, like with the guy Etika, just to get you to throw yourself off a bridge because of your emotional reactions. So the best thing to do with emotions is you can't really control emotions. You can't stop emotions, but emotions are connected to a thought that is what do you say? How do you say it? How do you say it? Has a context. It's all contextual. It has a certain it has a certain juxtaposition to a particular situation. For instance, I insulted your intelligence. Now you're gonna react to my insult of your intelligence. See what I'm saying? Now you emotionally, I got you angry. Oh, you dumb, you stupid. You listen to me. You actually believed what I said about you, or you was in defensive. Now you have to react to it. Now I'm in control because I manipulated you. Like this guy Nipsey Hussle, uh, he called the guy the snitch, the one that killed him. I'm looking like, if you was really from the streets, if you was really from the streets, especially out there in L.A., all the Crips and Bloods. This guy, I don't know if he was a Crip or a Blood, but he was wearing all types of colors. But you don't call nobody no snitch. That's one thing you don't do. Unless you finna kill this guy, unless you got it set up, unless you have evidence for one, unless somebody's gonna do something to this guy to punish him for being this so-called snitch. What's the point of telling him he's a snitch in front of his girlfriend? You just manipulated this dude to defend, for one, his character, his manhood, his reputation, his honor in front of his girlfriend. The only way to do that against this guy who's a famous rapper is to kill him. You right there. He finna take you out to protect his credibility. But you didn't have to call him that. Like, you could have just, whatever. Like in this book, I read a lot of books. This book, The Prince by Machiavelli. He says there's two ways to deal with men. You caress them or destroy them. You always be nice to them. Never give them a chance to think that you have a ulterior motive to annihilate them. When it's time to annihilate them, you just do it. You don't give them a warning. You don't let them know you finna take them out. You smile at them. You treat them nice until further notice. And it's the guy that wrote the book that basically helped the Western world conquer the whole world, teaching Lorenzo the Magnificent how to be a prince, because his family, the Medicis, was taken out of power for at least 30 years. And they just put him back in, I think in 1512, because Italy wasn't able to flourish and succeed without him. So they needed the Medici family to rule. So they just put this guy back in power when he had no idea how to be a king or how to be a prince, because he didn't have the blood, the continuous line was severed. So this guy wrote the book, Machiavelli, to get this guy the knowledge that he needed to be a successful king. But he said that's how you deal with people, with men. You don't be disrespectful to them. Like, the first thing you learn is to never underestimate anybody. Like, you don't know what the next person is capable of. And you could drive a person to killing, but he had no intention of doing it. But something you did, and his emotions, he wasn't as emotionally intelligent as you were, or you're probably not emotionally intelligent because you reacted emotionally and he reacted emotionally. Now you're dead. He's in jail. His family got killed. I'm looking like, this is the biggest cause of the people's destruction. Emotions, reaction to a situation, to a contextual, connotative, and denotative. Things that associative situations. Oh, I'm from this neighborhood and I know these people, I'm associated with these people. I'm having emotional attachment to these people. I don't like these people. Therefore, it's going to determine my movement in that particular area because of my emotional attachments. Or I could just say, I don't forget that. Or I could just not even think about it whatsoever. Like, what you do is you have to deny the reality. Just like your oppressor, like, talk about erasing your history, erasing your glory. So they don't think about it, for one, and you don't think about it. Even though it's true, it's not true. It's a true lie. But you can do the same thing with your own emotional situations. Like, every emotion is attached to a particular thought, a particular situation that you have the power to deny its existence. Now, once you deny the existence of that particular situation, it no longer exists until you actually delve into it. And once it no longer exists, it also eliminated the emotional response to it. That's one part of conquering life. And it also has to do with fear, because fear is also associative, a phobia of the dark, a situation that may have occurred that was so horrible and frightening, or a fear that you see in TV that you think a boogeyman, a ghost, a monster is going to creep out, and you associate the dark with those things, and those thoughts will cause you to fear those particular things that you manifested that will just jump out, but they might not even exist. Even if they do exist, they might not have the power to do anything to you. But what's the point of even thinking about their existence or thinking about anything? It's just dark. That's a reality Like every day when the sun rotates, a certain section of the earth gets dark. If you don't have the lights on, the artificial lights, you will be in the dark. That's a reality. So what's the point of thinking about a monster, a ghost, or a situation that might not occur, that you could deny the occurrence, and just focus on going to sleep or focus on whatever, like whatever. Those two things, emotions and fear, are very crucial in the idea of conquering life, because we have to experience. We can't all experience the same situations, the same emotions, the same whatever pleasures. But the best thing to do is to not experience these particular things. You don't have to go to the casino. You don't have to have $1 million, $1 billion. You don't have to have all the pleasures, the foods, the luxuries, the splendors, to feed the body. The body doesn't require too much to exist. You don't require that many calories to exist. But in order to actually conquer this life, you have to conquer fear. You have to have control over your thoughts. You have to control your emotions. And you have to determine on a minute by minute basis on how you're going to actually accomplish your goals. Be it going out there driving for Lyft, be it creating content on YouTube, be it going to your job, working at McDonald's and being successful, making the most perfect burgers until you actually clock out and do that for a particular amount of days until you get your paycheck, and then take that paycheck, decipher it up, and accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. Take care of bills, have your savings. You might invest in some stock, invest in some McDonald's stock, probably $50 a week into McDonald's stock or whatever, because an investment is a saving account. And you actually get compound interest off of that. So I'd rather put money in stock than to have a saving account. Also, that's all they do with the saving accounts anyway. You just invest it in stocks and give you a very minute portion of the dividends. Just put the money in the stocks yourself, Even if you want to purchase a house, because if you plan to have an organization, freedom, the main objective of Earth, of human beings on Earth, is to be free to experience, free to enjoy, free to accomplish your particular mission. Can you determine your mission? I think so. You can determine whatever your mission is. We have a clean slate, or you make it. People say it's predetermined. Let somebody else determine it for you. Let fate determine it for you. Shake the dice, whatever. Once that mission is determined, everything you do should be spent trying to accomplish those particular goals until you're successful. But you cannot let emotions and fear, doubt, other people's opinions, other people's insults, innuendos distract you and sabotage you from accomplishing your goals. And the main goal is conquering life.